it's the difference between saying, like, if we're all sitting in a circle or whatever, I don't know why we're in a circle. For some reason, suddenly, I don't know why I said
coven.
that.
It's a coven now. We're
Suddenly,
all witches.
We're doing a fucking ritual. But, you know, we're all at the pregame doing a ritual, and they're like, oh, like, what do you guys want to do tonight? Do you want to stay in or do you want to go out? And then everyone's like, oh, I could go out. And then it's like, now you have the baseline. Just make the decision now. You know, if we all
Where
agreed.
Where are we going? Are we going to go to eat? What do we want to eat?
That's like, the shit that drives me insane. And it's like, I am down for the ride. That's the thing. Like, I will go anywhere you bring me. I don't care if it's a hole in the wall. I don't care if it's like a really nice club. I don't care what it is. Just bring me there, and then I'm a boogie. You know what I mean? I'm a boogie. Okay, that's all I want. I just want to do my little dance. Okay? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fossil and the Spawn. I'm not Fossil. I'm Spawn.
I'm not Spawn. I'm Fossil.
And I'm feeling very goofy, very giddy today. Right before Fossil hit start, I couldn't get the song Replay by Zendaya out of my head. And like, Mom and our producer Owen were just like looking at me, and like in my head I was like, yeah, wanna put this song And I'm sorry if I'm in a little silly, goofy mood.
Well, that's, at least you're happy.
Who the fuck said that?
Well, I has happy too. Can I brag for a minute?
Go ahead.
All right. So anybody who listened to our first episode, hopefully you did, I think I said that I was challenging myself. I was starting new habits.
Well, you're challenging me.
You be proud of me, goddammit. But listen, guys, listen. So not only am I succeeding, I have lost 10 pounds. I have lost 3 inches off my big old ass. I have lost 1.5 inches off my waist, and I've lost 1 inch off my boobs. So I know that's like taking a bucket of water out of a pool and saying, am I skinny yet? But I'm proud of that. I'm sorry. I am proud of that. So I have managed to get past maintaining what I said I was going to do in January, and I'm still doing it. So I'm sticking to it, and I'm seeing results, and I'm happy. I has happy.
As you should, skinny legend.
Okay. Let's not be mean to me. I just want to be proud of the success. Can I?
I'm not being mean to you. I don't know. Did you even notice that I was coughing?
Yes, but I was trying to not react to it.
Okay. You don't think that people can see my tears and just the snot dripping down my face?
Not right now, they can't. Unless Owen keeps it in the video section with you putting yourself on mute and
Anyways,
choking.
Let's put that shit on replay. Congratulations. That's honestly a really big deal.
Thank you.
And
I'm so happy.
I kind of feel like a cock because Mom's like showing me up right now, where like I used to be the one that like tracked all my food and like went to the gym, and like now I'm the fat fuck, and like she's like actually showing me up. Like,
nope,
it's
don't
pissing
do that.
me off a little bit.
No. Come on. Let's think about where I came from. I mean, honestly, what's it been? This will be the 9th year since Big Daddy D left the planet. Okay. So honestly, if you want to call it that, the time of mourning, as it were, has passed. And it's time that I took a look at myself and went, I don't like that.
So after like the 9th year, does that mean you just like want to be sexy again? Is that what you're saying?
You know what's crazy? I remember meeting other women. As you do, you draw people who have been through your experiences, other widows, younger widows, and they, after 2-3 years, they were remarried. No offense to them, not who I am. I was like, whoa. I can't even imagine. Just let me get used to having a life without him in it, right? It's like, I don't need to jump on and go find someone. That's 2 years. I just can't even imagine. You
didn't want to twerk while on a split?
No.
On a random dude, like right after Dad died?
Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope.
Can't even imagine.
I was sad that the sex life was gone, but no, I did not want to do some rando.
Proud of you. Really proud of you.
Oh, is that when I go like, Mama not proud, you're going daughter proud?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not that nerdy. But I'm really happy about that. I'm really proud of that.
You should
and I'm going to keep going. So hopefully by the end of the season, I'll only have half of the weight to lose. We'll see.
Wait, so can you share, and it's okay if you don't feel comfortable, but like how much weight are you trying to lose?
I need to, and this isn't even getting down to skinny, okay? 80 pounds I need to lose. So now I'm 70 to go.
Let's go. That's a big difference.
Well, it is like taking a bucket of water out of a pool.
Yeah.
Expecting it to look like half the water's gone, but
or just like
my clothes
Felix.
Definitely fit different. I have a jacket that I put on the other day. I couldn't even zip it up over my boobs just a couple months ago. I couldn't even zip it. I put it on the other day. Not only did I zip it, I'm like, whoa, it fit again.
Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah.
I've had like the opposite thing happen recently where I decided I was going to start trying to weightlift again. And after I did like 3 days in the gym or whatever, and I like continued with Pilates, I was doing both. I swear to God, I gained 4 pounds. And I was like, how? Because I was still tracking my food as well. So I was really confused that I was gaining weight while like being really active. And so I don't know if my body's just like inflamed from like the stress or what it is, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking Hulk Hogan. I don't really know. But yeah.
Bulking
No,
and
literally.
hulking. No, I know. I honestly do not track my food because what I found was when I do the smoothies in the morning with the chia seed and the protein powder, I'm not hungry. So 2:00 comes, I will have half a sandwich because I'm really not hungry, but I know I should eat something, or I will get to the point where I'm hungry and get a headache. And then dinner comes around, and I honestly am not binge eating anymore. I'm not eating crap anymore. But I'm not counting anything. I'm just choosing things that aren't boxed or pre-cooked, or if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just making better choices in what I consume, what goes in my mouth.
Right.
Enjoy that thought. So moving on to the next topic, it's just let's talk about making our decisions, how we make our decisions.
Wow. Very riveting stuff.
That's what happens when you leave it up to me.
Thanks for that, Fossil. I feel so inspired by that fucking intro. That really did a number on me.
That's why you're in charge.
Now that I'm so mesmerized by what fucking Fossil put on the table there, yeah, I guess something Fossil and I have been talking about in like our personal lives is this concept of me feeling overwhelmed because I've been put in a position at my job specifically, and I'm transitioning out of this current position. But for the past like a little bit over a year, I've been an EA, an executive assistant, and literally your entire job is about making decisions. And something that I've realized is because I spend 10, 11 hours a day, like making decisions on the behalf of other people. And like everything is riding on like those decisions that I'm making, even though they seem really minuscule. If I choose the wrong hotel, if I choose the wrong car service, if I don't like double check everything, like that could really fuck up like a lot of people's plans. And it's not something that other people are checking. Like it's all in my hands, where when it comes to the weekends or when it comes to like spending time with just like anyone in my personal life, I hate making the plans. Like if my friends say, hey, let's go to dinner like at 6 p.m. on Saturday, it like actually makes me furious. And it's so unfair to everyone, but it's just I'm so overwhelmed by like having such strict plans throughout the week that I don't want to have plans on the weekend. Like I want to have fun and I want to see people, but I want to do it like very leisurely, if that makes any sense.
Like how you don't like it when I say, let's set a time to record.
Right, exactly. But that's like,
she goes,
well, but I've gotten over that. Like, obviously we have a set time now that we do it, but like it was a really big mental hurdle for me because it's something that structure, that being forced to like play by the second reminds me of my job. So then anything I do that with in my personal life feels like it's part of a job now, even if it's like fun and enjoyable. And this is something I was actually talking to another executive assistant about. We were talking about it, and she was like, I don't even know how it got brought up. I think she brought it up herself. And it was something like I've always talked about with Fossil, but she said that she felt the exact same way. She was like, I feel really, really overwhelmed when people try to make me structure my weekends. And I was like, that made me feel so reassured that like someone else in a very similar position felt the exact same way I did, because I always thought like, I don't know why I really felt that way, because you should want to have a routine, you should want to be organized, but it's almost like for me, I feel trapped by it on the weekends.
Well, now I know why.
Well, yeah.
So let's go back, but honestly, this is the importance, the sheer absolute neuroplasticity, the importance of having downtime, the importance of taking your vacation time, the importance of blocking off everybody leave me the F alone. This is why it's important, because some of that overwhelm probably wouldn't escalate to this point had you blocked off daily times where this is you time, no one's getting through. No one, like what you do for your boss, you do for you. This is my time, no one crosses it.
I think the hard part about that, though, is being in this position without, like, getting too granular into, like, what exactly that entails. Like, you really do work on their time. So if your boss is bad at making those boundaries for themselves, then you will also be bad at making those boundaries. Because if they text you at 10 o'clock at night, you're going to work at 10 o'clock at night, because that's just, like, the nature of the role. And so, yes, you can say, like, oh, you want to, like, make these boundaries. But something I'm noticing as I'm transitioning over to a new position is that team has more boundaries. And so, like, I might actually be able to do that for myself, whereas before I didn't necessarily have as much leeway with that.
Understood, but this is the idea of making the choice to work for another person and saying, you know, I've done this now and this isn't really working for me long term. This is not healthy. So I'm going to keep moving until I get to it. I mean, obviously, you know, you're in a good place. You've had great experiences. You've put your all into it. But at the point in which it started affecting your health, is when you have to say, all right, this is it.
I think, though, that at such a young age, when you are just trying to, like, get in, like, unfortunately, you do have to be okay with, like, being someone else's bitch for a while. Like, that's just the name of the game, and especially in entertainment. And so, like, doing it for a year or doing it for 2 years, like, really is not that uncommon.
But you, my love... It's not just been 2 years. This is actually one of your habits that started back prior to high school. Yeah.
Well, for me, sure.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, in a job scenario, like, that's pretty standard for, like, the first year or two. But it's honestly become this thing with me and my friends where I literally have to tell them I'm on Emily time. And, like, quite literally what that means is if we're scheduled to hang out on the weekend, and this is, like, not a good habit to get into, but it's something that thankfully I think a lot of my friends understand, is I'll say, like, okay, well, on Saturday, like, I'm working on Emily time. So if you want to hang out, like, we're going to hang out, but I can't give you, like, an exact deadline of when I'm going to be at your house by. Like, could be 4, could be 6, because I'm on Emily time today. You know, and then, like, they understand that I'll let them know when I'm on my way, or, like, I'll let them know 30 minutes before I'm going to leave. But I'm not going to rush and, like, stress myself out in order to get there by 4 p.m.
As long as it's not disrespectful. I mean, to me, that sounds like you're communicating very well. That's Hopefully. All you can really ask for in friendships. I mean, honestly, you can't make them react the way you want them to. I mean, they have the right to say, then forget it. I'm not waiting around for your butt.
100%. And that's why I've been very lucky with the people that I have in my sphere. My sphere is because they're very understanding that like, okay, she's really stressed out. Like, let her do her makeup if she wants to do her makeup. Let her like take a long shower if she wants to do that. Let her go do her laundry, you know, because like those are things that me personally I need to do in order to feel okay like going out after that.
But you are also just as giving when they do need you, right? I mean, there has to be a balance or you wouldn't be friends. So clearly you're giving your time to them when they need you in other times, in other days.
Of course. But when I say Emily time, like that's not frequent. I don't Emily time frequently.
Right. That's what
it's
I'm
always
saying.
when
That's
I'm like,
what I was getting at.
It's always when I'm like really overwhelmed and it's like someone that I'm close with and I know that they'll understand.
Yeah.
You know, like I could talk to them like 3 days a week or whatever. And I'll be like, okay, yes, we're hanging out today, but like it needs to be on Emily time and I'm sorry. And they'll be like, okay, yeah, cool. Just let me know. But another thing I've been thinking about lately is it's weird because I don't think I necessarily know like my type of man. You know, my type of man. I don't think I have a good understanding of like the type of person that I want to be in a relationship with. Because I've only ever been in like one serious relationship, or not even serious and non-serious. I've only been in one. Like your girl gets no play. But anyway, so something that like Fossil and I talk about is what's the type of guy you think would be good for me? Let's start there. I'm interested.
No. Oh,
no.
Hell to the no. Hell to the
Why?
no. Because I am of the belief that you can make any relationship work. It's about both of you putting in the effort. I mean, I don't care. I love Zodiac. I love all of the things about all of that. But, you know, I don't care who you are. It's about communicating, respect, and working at it.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
I am not going to say this is the type of guy you should have. Because also, as human beings, we freaking grow and morph and change. And you need an individual who's also growing, morphing, and changing in their way. And you let them have their time. They let you have your time. I mean, come on, guys.
No, that's valid. Okay, the reason I asked you that is because we've had conversations in the past where I've said, oh, I want someone who's like a little bit more assertive. And you're like, oh, no, you would eat that man alive.
Yep. And there it is.
And you always say stuff like that because you say, like, because I'm so headstrong that, like, I would clash with someone like that. But lately, I've just been having this feeling where I've been in, like, groups of friends where they just, like, don't fucking make a decision. And, like, I don't want to be the one to make the decision. And it's not that I can't make the decision. Like, I tend to make the decision a lot of the times. But that's what bothers me is if I'm constantly being the one to decide where we're going or what we're doing or whatever it is. Like, that drives me insane. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I have like these two friends that are the type of friends. I refer to them more as like the dad friends, where they're like, I ordered the Uber, we're going here, get your ass in the car. Okay, call me traditional. My ass gets in the car and I enjoy it.
Have you ever said no? Have you ever said, I'm not doing that?
No. Because they're with people I trust. They're with friends that I trust and like, and I know that they're not going to bring me to a fucking crack den. Like, you know what I mean? They're like,
Right.
They just made the decision, we're going to this bar. This is what we're doing. Get in the car. The Venmo is $6. You know what I mean? And I like that.
When I think of you having someone say, when I made the comment that you referred to, it's because I think you and I both do this. When someone says, oh, you're doing that, you're like, hell, I am, right? Mm-hmm. It's almost like a challenge, and that does that thing where you're like, don't tell me what to do. But it's also, I hear what you're saying, that it's relief not to have to choose when it's your fun time.
Yeah.
That is the opposite of what you want your work life to be, your downtime. You want somebody else to make the decision. It makes sense. I'm saying there's no black and white here on what you want in an individual. You need a person in your life. We all need partners who are going to fill in when we're weak, they're strong, and when they're weak, we're strong. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I hear what you're saying about like the don't tell me what to do, but I think it's different when it comes to like actual life choices. Like if he was like, you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, I'd be like, the fuck I am. But it's the difference between saying like, if we're all sitting in a circle or whatever, I don't know why we're in a circle. For some reason, suddenly, I don't know why I said
coven.
that.
It's a coven now. We're all witches.
We're doing a fucking ritual. But, you know, we're all at the pregame doing a ritual, and they're like, oh, like, what do you guys want to do tonight? Do you want to stay in or do you want to go out? And then everyone's like, oh, I could go out. And then it's like, now you have the baseline. Just make the decision now. You know, if we all
Where
agreed.
Where are we going? Are we going to go to eat? What do we want to eat?
That's like, the shit that drives me insane. And it's like, I am down for the ride. That's the thing. Like, I will go anywhere you bring me. I don't care if it's a hole in the wall. I don't care if it's like a really nice club. I don't care what it is. Just bring me there, and then I'm a boogie. You know what I mean? I'm a boogie. Okay, that's all I want. I just want to do my little dance. Right. Okay.
So here's let me then offer the opposite perspective of this topic is when you're actually the person who is the support role. Not to be confused with being an EA, but Daddy and I had very clear defined roles. And they were pretty traditional roles. We had agreed Big Daddy D was, you know, he was the financial provider and he was the one who made the big financial decisions. And when it came to outside of the house was his area, inside of the house was mine. You know, for the most part, I did the normal, what you think of female traditional things. Don't no hate mail on that. But that was our agreement. That was what we both wanted. And after he passed, now I was forced into a leadership role that I didn't really like, okay? Because I had not been using those parts of my brain to make those big decisions like, you know, loans and financing, refis and stuff like that. So now that I was forced, like, okay, even something as simple as there's a burst pipe in the basement. That would freak me out because I didn't know who to call. Now you think plumber. Okay, but what plumber? Right. What plumber? I used to call Daddy and say, do you have a friend? Because now you're talking also about an agreement about money. You're right. Usually a couple has an agreement of what is the budget and how. So you have something like a burst pipe that you weren't counting on. And I would call him because sometimes he would say, don't call a plumber. I have a friend at work. Right? So there was usually something that Daddy made that decision. And when that happened here afterwards, I froze and I panicked because I wasn't confident in those areas to make those decisions. That was his expertise. I didn't think about it because I didn't have to. So that's a totally, you know, then it's all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I have to make these choices. I don't want to make these choices, but I had to. And thing is, the only way around that is kind of like it's the same thing you do for self-esteem building and confidence building. You just make one and give yourself permission to, forgive my language, fuck up. Mm-hmm. That there is nothing unless you're going to die from your choice, unless there is a life or death decision, you cannot really truly fuck it up to the point where you can't fix it.
Yeah.
But it really, I mean, I was assistant all my life and somebody else made the big decision. It's like that is how I grew, raised. Everything in my life was about having a leader at the top who was responsible for those bigger decisions, those bigger choices, the bigger money, the bigger numbers.
But don't you, and you can disagree with me, but like, don't you feel like even as when you were an assistant, like you were making really big decisions?
I'm going to say no, because my decisions are, do we need 2 boxes of pens? Do I need that? Does he need 2 nights at the hotel? Does he need that? Does he need a car? Or can he just take taxis? You know, to me, those were just they weren't complicated. They were just time consuming. And I was saving him time, you know, going to get his dry cleaning. Do I do that at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock? I mean, you know, to me, it was busy work. It wasn't, it's going to change the entire trajectory of the company if I make the wrong decision today.
That's interesting because even though I would say like I'm probably doing similar stuff to what you were doing, I feel like that having to make those decisions, although may seem minute, has actually given me a lot of confidence in my decision making, and it's transferred to like other areas of my life where someone's like, oh, well, what would you do in this situation? And I'll like give a very clear, like solid answer because I just like trust myself more, if that makes sense. Because they might not seem like big decisions, but if it's the difference between your boss being comfortable and not, like that falls back on you. So it's like, if I get the wrong jet or I get the wrong car or I do something like that, or I don't get the meal planned correctly, whatever it is, like that's going to cause an upset in the comfort and the normal routine of their life. And so I do think that those decisions are important, even though they seem kind of dumb in the grand scheme of things.
Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. These are things that make a huge difference in your day and in the comfort level and in your relationship with your boss. My point is the things that Daddy was taking care of were not things that I had to relearn those areas like financing. No, I'm not talking about paying the bills because I did pay the bills, but it's like, how do you bring in more? Do you get a life insurance policy? Am I refinancing the house? These are bigger decisions that affected where you went to college. Could I even afford college? Can we afford to have a second car? We never did, by the way. But, you know, all these things that I had to decide on my own without having somebody else to go, what do I do? What's the best way? Let's talk through this. What are the numbers here? He was math guy. He was mechanical engineer guy. He was common sense guy. I was emotional, intuit, you know, the intuitive thinking, you know, how is this going to work? How are we going to react to it? Totally different skill sets. And when that one skill set is missing, I had to rise to the occasion. I'm not saying I didn't screw it up. I did my best, but we're still here. We're still alive, so I didn't do too bad. But to answer that question, it is important for that. I'm just talking about a totally different skill set. That those huge, like if your boss screws up, he's got how many employees? Yeah, 100, hundreds or something of people 50. That are... Okay, 50 people he's responsible for 50 people. If you screw up, you make him have a bad day.
Not necessarily, though. Not in my scenario, but we don't have to get into that.
Well, Big Daddy D, the story with Big Daddy D was when the most thing that he said to me that affected me, like to my core, was when he was debating whether or not we were going to move up here. You had just been born. Mikey was, you know, however old Mikey was, and Clayton was too. So his words to me were, he was really fretting. And I'm like, baby, what is wrong? And he said, if I fuck up for all of us. Went right through me. I just wanted to, you know, it's like, it's okay. I'm here. I love you. We can live in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
But that's making decisions. It is confidence builder. And you do learn things from making decisions for other people, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Learning to make decisions that affect other people.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny, that just reminded me that the last like piece of handwriting I have from Dad is like freaking, like he was showing me how to do the math on like it wasn't biology. It wasn't chemistry. I think it was just like physics. I think it was physics. And he was showing me like how to do the math on like a physics problem. And do you have it? Are you pulling it out right now?
No, but I was going to pull something else out that Clayton found for me. I was going to show
okay. But I was thinking, like, when you said that, he was the math guy, I would like, yes, he was, because I fucking hated that class, and that was the last thing he showed me.
Oh, no. Let's see if I can find it.
Is this going to get sad?
I hope not. It gave me such joy.
You better not fucking bring the vibes down right now.
No, I don't think so. I just need to find the page. Oh, God. I don't even know if I should even take the time to keep going here.
Can you just explain it rather than show it?
Yeah, I was just going to show it. But, so while we were in Ireland. I think I have mentioned this story before. When we were in Ireland, I was having a particularly bad day, and I had called home to make sure Mikey and Clayton were okay. And Clayton says, "Hey, by the way, I found something at Dad's." And, I'm like, oh, God, waiting for the tearjerker story to start. But he said, "No, I found his date book, and it's in here somewhere. In fact, it's probably right here. Yep, it's right here where the little thing is." So it's a little divider. And this is one of the things. On here, I don't know if I can get you guys to see it. It's like a weekly compass of what he wanted to do. And under personal role, it says, "Give Angie a hug."
That's
I don't know
sweet.
If it's, but yeah, one of those things that on a bad day, it was like he reached out from the other side and said, "I'm still here."
Yeah, that's really sweet.
I'm like, and then I got to thinking, well, why the hell? That was up in the attic outside of the garage. Why the hell was Clayton up in the garage? I forgot to ask him that.
Yeah, when we were gone in Ireland too, huh? What's he looking for? He's trying to sell some shit.
Daddy's old porn VHS tapes or something?
Yeah, literally.
Nothing like that 1970s cassette tape. Dry rot.
I actually love that you brought that story up, because this morning, and you're going to think I'm such a little bitch tit for this, but like this morning I was driving I decided to go to Dunkin'. Now, in Austin, Texas, there are I think there's a couple Dunkins, but they're 4. Okay, they are 4 from me, and they're 4 from downtown Austin. I don't even live in downtown Austin, but they're 4. And so sometimes I make the great decision to venture out into the unknown for a fucking cup of sewer water. And so I decided today to life is a highway, and I took my ass and I drove all the way to Dunkin' Donuts, like 12 miles away.
Damn.
And I know, crazy,
You should
right?
be an ad. Hey, somebody get Dunkin' and tell them about this. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Dude, I would
Drive 12 miles for a Dunkin'.
I mean, I think I said it in the last episode. Like the thing that makes me the happiest is getting a sweet little treat and a drinky. Like that's what makes me the happiest. I love a coffee. If I could spend $8 a day on a coffee, I would. And so, no. Well, okay, no, that's not what I said. It's not what I said. Okay, it would be $6 at Dunkin'. But
that's very true. You can get 3 cups of coffee at Dunkin'.
But actually, I would rather go to the local coffee shops, but I didn't want to actually spend my own money because you gave me a gift card to Dunkin'. I don't know if you remember this. You gave me a gift card to Dunkin'.
And do you think I was drunk all the time? What the hell?
You don't want me to answer that.
By the way, it has been since 12/26 of 2022 that I've had a drop of alcohol.
Oh, do I remember that day? You don't want to get into that.
No, I did. We could, but we won't.
We're gonna ignore that one for now.
It's one of the reasons I stopped drinking, isn't it?
We're gonna put a pin in that one.
I'll put a pin in that one.
But I drove 12 miles to get my sewer water, and you had given me a gift card, and I had like $30 left on it, and I was like, why would I go pay $8 at a local coffee shop when I could use mommy's money to go get me a $6 12-mile-away coffee? So I went, and as I was driving, I just had this overwhelming feeling where I wanted to see you in person so bad. Like, I just wanted to give you like a really big hug so bad, and like, no, stop being a little bitch. Stop it. Don't fucking make me upset. I swear to fucking God. But like for me, I'm not like that type of person. Like I can go a really, really long time without seeing people in person because I have no soul. So for me to like actually have that feeling where I was like, I want so badly to hug my mom right now, that's very rare. So the fact that you just told the dad story about him wanting to give you a hug, maybe maybe he was like, oh, mom's going to talk about that today, and I'm similar to you, and you know?
Actually, it could have, now that I know about how the brain is starting to function, that it could have been a memory recall of the fact that you identify me as coffee and coffee with our great talks and relationship, and therefore it triggered that memory, and that elicited an emotion which made you want to hug me. But either way, I thank you.
If I correlate you with coffee...
You do. I'm sure you do.
Probably to a certain extent. But I also correlate like myself with coffee. And also like happiness with coffee and also like
Right.
drugs.
But think
with
about
coffee.
why that is. How many times did we sit down at the table and just have the most amazing conversations together? How many? A lot. A lot. If we want to continue the topic of the things we do, how our mind works. So as you guys know by now, it's like sickening. I am reading so many books about the brain and I am eating it up. But I learned a new word this week. You guys may have, if you already know it, I'm going to be really sad and just feel really stupid, as you know is my trigger. The word is gunny sacking. Is anybody familiar with that?
Fucking stupid loser. Knew it. You're a
Does
bot.
Does
No, I have no
So-
fucking idea what that means.
No. Owen, do you see this? She is like so far behind in her video and her sound. Oh my God. Gunny sacking is actually, it's considered a narcissistic trait. It is
Slay.
when we hold in things that bother us about someone. And then when they say something nasty to us, we fire it back at them. Oh, yeah, well, you did this and this and this and this and this and this. And I went, oh, my God, I know I've done that. I'm a narcissist. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I've exhibited narcissistic behaviors. Oh, my God, that was eye-opening. I mean, something that they've given a label to. We've talked about labels ad nauseum too. But they labeled it. It's called gunny sacking. You've held this in. You've held it in. You waited. You waited for that moment to use it. And then went... brrrt.
Okay, wait. This sounds like my specialty, so now I'm concerned. Let's unpack
Yes,
that.
be concerned. Let's be concerned.
because-
You are not to hold it in.
This sounds like I'm Queen Empress gunny sack.
Isn't it
ball
scary?
Sack. That sounds
Did
like
you
that's
identify?
something. No, I do, because so you're essentially saying, let's say I don't like you, and you say something that makes me upset, then I'm going to be like, that's why your dad's dead. No?
That's insulting. That's not gunny sacking. Gunny sacking
okay.
is, well, you didn't pay for it last time, and you didn't put gas in the car, and you did, instead of it when it happened, you say, can you please start putting gas in the car when you borrow the car, please? Or did you even notice that you left this in the bathroom? Can you please clean some, whatever, you left your place, but you wait and you let it build so that when they get one thing on you, you machine gun fire at
Machine
them
gun Kelly.
with more than what you understand, more than what this one problem. You're
Wait.
trying to
Maybe I don't do that then.
no, I just think you can be a nasty little.
Oh, no. I'm just like a flat out cunt. But
I was
also,
gonna
I
say
feel
that.
like I'm the type where someone does something bad to me and instantly I'm like,
Oh, you and your
You know?
father for sure. Had
I don't
that.
hold it in. I just
No.
Dragon Ball Z that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Daddy both had that. Oh, you're gonna do this? Bam.
Yeah.
You came at
So
it.
maybe I
Bulldog.
don't like gunny sack. Maybe I like teabag. Right?
Hold on. I've heard this phrase before. It had to do with a game that your brother used to play, and he would say, that's when you take the little characters and go over top of somebody's head with your ball sack or something, right?
It's when you put your balls in someone's face.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just
So-
to be clear.
I feel like I identify as more of like a teabagger rather than a gunny sacker.
I would
You know.
call that face punching more than I would gun
Face fucking, that's that too.
Okay. Mhm. No, let's be clear. The gunny sack is literally storing up your ammo. So when they aim their gun at you, you just unload on them.
That sounds oddly arousing.
I knew you were gonna. Didn't we start talking about this originally? Off camera, we were talking about something.
I'm sorry. Are you referring
What?
to a bukkake?
You said it. Bukkake, isn't that Greek dessert?
I don't get it.
Baklava, and that's probably not even a dessert. I don't even know. I'm getting Is it? It's not. What is the other one that there's like a layered pastry with, but it's a dinner? I think
tiramisu. No, I'm joking. I want everyone to know that before we started recording today, Mom just comes, she sits down. I don't even know what the fuck you were talking about. And all of a sudden she was like, yeah, this one time Dad was telling me about bukkakis. I was like, I'm sorry?
Time out. You made a comment about something about cannons, a protein cannon. And
that's not what I said. Get it right. I said calcium cannons.
Oh, calcium cannon.
I was talking about big yitties.
Okay. What I pictured in my head, because I didn't understand the what you were saying, was that it was a cream-colored substance being expelled, which to me, I thought of semen, and that is how that progressed to then I made a comment about being a glazed donut, and you understood the reference.
Right.
And there you go. There you go. So there's the story for you.
Does everyone understand my mental
what the hell we're
now?
talking about? No.
This is where it stems from. You're looking at the monster who created me.
Yeah, that's a lot going on in my brain. I fight it often. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to have that conversation about allowing your brain to go places.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. We had to have a conversation about it. I got really nervous for a second. I was like, I don't know what conversation we're having, but I'm cutting it right now.
Controlling your thoughts. The ability to
win.
Control your thoughts.
They always win.
Whose fault is that then, loser? Do better.
Who the fuck you calling loser, pinhead?
Well.
Okay, well, thank you. Guys.
Gross. Honestly, before we get any worse on this show, I think we ought to say we love you guys. And please come back and listen to us some more. My daughter is laughing her butt off. I don't even know what's going on that side. But I think we should bid our wonderful listeners adieu.
I yerpid.
You yerpid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to all those that I've hurt in the process. I'll change, I swear.
Forgiveness is key.
What's it called? Not teabag.
Gunny sack.
I'll make sure to gunny sack next time.
All right.
All right.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Your choice.
Bye.
Bye.